What does the show mean to you, thinking back on it?
That's a hard question. There's this thing I read that Jung said that where love is absent, power fills the vacuum. To me, that's what the show has always been about. That would have been the thing that could have helped and maybe even saved these people.
There is a unique quality, I think, to Succession, which makes it difficult to categorize, but it is, of course, it's one big circle. It's all cyclical. It's almost like that surrealist thing where you could never get above one level. You just keep going around to the same place. I don't think anybody really changes, do they? I mean, their situation changes and things happen to them and they evolve. Tom and Shiv, obviously, in terms of the nature of their marriage, that certainly evolves. But the natures of the characters, I suppose, as with people, our natures don't fundamentally change, really. Just things happen to us.
How has Logan changed between season 1 and season 4? Hasn't changed at all. He's Logan. He's constant. He is constant as a northern star.
We watch these awful people partly out of wanting to see them grow, to see them move past their trauma. And while Shiv may change careers and Greg learns how to move up the ladder, what these characters think of the world does not change. They are stuck in a loop, constantly going through experiences that challenge their worldview, but they are stuck. Their old trauma has helped shape and meld them, and it is too late. They will always want what they didn't get as a child, and they will always see the world through the eyes of the child they once were. A common expression is hurt people, and I think Succession is going a step farther to say that hurt children grow up to be damaged adults, and those adults release their trauma onto everyone around them, including children. And the cycle repeats. Everyone in the world of Succession is damaged in some way, whether that be through a learned, twisted mindset or through deep personal trauma. The great tragedy of the story is not that of specific traumatic events. It is instead that of cyclical events, wherein trauma begets more trauma, which in turn begets more trauma. It is too late to remove what is fundamental to these people or to the system they uphold. The dominoes were set in place a long time ago, and they will continue to fall. Nothing short of a major catastrophe could change that. Major spoilers ahead. The trajectory of Succession's final season is largely influenced by perhaps the greatest catastrophe the characters can imagine, the death of a giant. Even in death, Logan's influence reigns supreme. With it comes not only troubling and complex grief, but also a hint of hope. That these people, specifically Logan's children, can grow and work together to build a better future for the world and their family. A world where they are not constantly bombarded by hate and vitriol. A world where they no longer must act selfishly and ruthlessly to survive. But it is too late. The lessons of Logan have been instilled through years of abuse and manipulation. The dominoes have been set. The children try to work together, but they don't know how to after being headbutted against one another their entire lives. Almost immediately, Shiv feels excluded due to Kendall and Roman's vie for power, and she quickly begins to scheme herself. Even good old nihilistic Roman does as he thinks Daddy would have wanted because the child in him still craves his approval. Perhaps even more so now that he knows he will never get it. And good old Ken, he still thinks of the promise his father made to him all those years ago, and without it, he is empty. Another level to the tragedy is that during this domino fall, more dominoes are being placed. Kendall's children are likely to be scarred. The United States may have a tyrant for president, and Tom and Greg may get exactly what they want. And the cycle of trauma repeats again, and again, and again, and again. It can sometimes be hard to pity the individuals of Succession with their large masses of wealth and power, and I truthfully feel that in many ways they get what they deserve. But at the same time, I understand that no one deserves to be hurt when they are a child. No one deserves to feel lost or confused while hating their consistent inner reflection with no sense of how to escape. Succession's tragedy lies in the fact that the characters reach their inevitable conclusion, fulfilling their role in the cycle. No one escapes it. No one changes for the better. Some win and some lose, but the cycle continues, again and again.